Welcome back, folks. My name is LastKnownMeal, and today we're going to talk about one of the most powerful corporations in the world of Cyberpunk that operates through the US, Canada, and in some parts of Europe. No, it's not Militech or Arasaka, it's Trauma Team. Trauma Team is made from some of the best doctors and paramedical techs there are, and being a powerful corporation means that besides the human resources, they have some of the best tech out there that will save your life. Keep in mind, this is the future, so medicine has advanced to the point where you can be saved from pretty much anything, even if you were clinically dead for a couple of minutes. In the tabletop game in Cyberpunk 2020, that was calculated through that state, but again, the game is going to take a different route. Now, as you saw in the gameplay demo, Trauma Team, even though it's a corporation which deals in saving people, they come packing heavy. Usually one squad of Trauma Team is consisted of a driver, senior medtechie, an assistant, and 2 security officers, which means they will do anything to save the person within minutes that has their membership, or you get the money back. And Night City is not really a nice place. Like every city in 2077 or 2020 is not a nice place because you have a lot of people which are armed. And because of that, they had to hire people with big guns to protect them. And because of that, they don't have some of the best doctors out there. They also have one of the best trained soldiers for situations where you have to pull out someone from combat and they will shoot you or anyone else that tries to stop them from saving that patient. And inside their aircraft they have state-of-the-art tech and even a cryo chamber that can lower your body temperature until you are saved. For example, if your brain is swollen or something like that, they will put you there so they can stabilize you before they get you to the hospital. They also use nanotechnology and tailored antibodies, which means tech has moved so much that they can use these tiny pseudo-organic machines to perform minute surgical tasks, saving your life. Those nanomachines repair damaged cells with molecule-sized polymer threads, or act as a temporary bridge between nerve endings, because nerves communicate through electrical signals. Right now in your body that is happening, but I won't go too far into that. That plus tailored antibodies can pretty much heal you double the speed of a usual healing process we have today. If you actually want Trauma Team, just call 911 and they have your location from that moment, and they start charging you money from that moment they're called until they deliver you to the hospital. So their job is to keep you alive and stabilize your wounds until other doctors can help you. Or you can even have a dead man transmitter, and as soon as something happens to you, let's say your body goes into a coma, the transmitter is activated and Trauma Team is automatically deployed to your location to save you from someone and generally save your life. You also have various membership cards, like the one we saw in the gameplay demo when we saved Sandra Dorset from the scavengers. She has a platinum card, and Jackie says that Trauma Team should have arrived even if she sneezed, which is true. Usually only people with a lot of money can afford that level of membership, so that's why I'm really interested to see who is Sandra Dorset. And of course, Trauma Team is going to treat people differently depending on your membership level and who you are. Now, as soon as Trauma Team was actually activated, they arrived to that scene in a minute, not even trusting you, but taking Sandra to the hospital. And it seems that the dead man transmitter actually failed here, which is extremely strange to happen. And because of that, you always have a dozen or more Trauma Teams, circulating through the city, ready to be on call if something happens. And because of that, they have state-of-the-art tracking equipment as well. They can locate you and track you anywhere, and some of the most skilled pilots that can deliver the team as close as possible to the target. If that location is compromised, they will use force from their aircraft and their weapons to secure that location, wiping everyone else out who stands in their way. They usually cost 100 eddies per minute. Yes, that's a lot of money, but you can be with them as a part of the corporate group insurance, or pay them a premium of 500 eddies in advance each month for continued service. So you pay 500 eddies, and if nothing happens to you, well, you're not getting the money back, but you still have to pay another 500 if you want that service to continue. And look, because they're privately owned, trauma teams are not under any obligation to transport a casualty to a hospital, but they are responsible for reviving you and stabilizing critical wounds if they can, in a sense, again depending on your membership with them. And again, going back to that Deadman transmitter that Sandra Dorset has, I am not sure why that thing didn't activate, because it seems that when the UI went there, it says trauma team failed. So there is actually a way, it seems, that to jam that signal. I'm not sure how scavengers did it, but I wonder if we, for example, in the game are gonna be able to phone trauma team and have them escort us from somewhere, but I think that would be too far, but we'll see. And I'm sure we will see a lot of them in Cyberpunk. They are one of the most important groups out there, and my advice to you is don't really screw with them. They can save your life after all, or take it if you stand in their way. But again, it's good that even if something happens to you and, for example, you lose a limb or something else, it's easy for you, if you have money, to get a new part, which is a biological limb from the body bank, or go with an augmentation. That's just how health works in Cyberpunk, and because normal paramedics are not enough anymore, you get corporations like these who will get the job done, but for a lot of money. But that's pretty much it regarding Trauma Team. I will talk more about them when the game comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Tell me down below what you think about the Trauma Team, and as always, click that like and subscribe button if you enjoyed this, and join our growing community on Twitter and Discord. I also made a Patreon page. If you were looking for an extra way to support the channel, check it out. And huge thanks to my current Patreon supporters. It's actually rising and I couldn't be happier, and to each and every single one of you that actually donated, thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is LKM signing out, and stay classy everyone. Bye bye.